intro music. Yeah! Woohoo!
Hey, Star Trek Fleet Commanders, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to talk about a topic that y'all bring up all the time: efficiency. Scopely math and understanding what efficiency actually is in this game, because it understandably can be quite confusing. I mean, to the point of, like, if I wanted to upgrade my pylum, we're actually going to use this as a great example today. How do I make this go down, and what does it actually mean if I get like a 100% addition or reduction in that matter? And we can use other examples as well. For example, just this past year, we've basically got 5, one of these is 2 tiers, hull primes that have come out. So like, at what point does a 100% hull prime and then a 400%, what value is that actually providing? And what are you actually getting for your money? Because as I had my German friend math out, the hamburgers actually represent your dollars. So the more dollars you spend getting more efficiency, less value your hamburgers actually are, which is kind of how efficiency works. It's a little bit of an oxymoron. They use an efficiency formula. It's not if you get a 100% reduction, you're at 0. It is an actual formula run through to actually calculate how much reduction you're going to get. Now, if you're curious what that looks like, well, the great thinker provides right here for you. So y equals c divided by 1 plus x, and that would be the bracketed version of that. So the basics of what we're looking at here and trying to understand and trying to just kind of give you a visual of is, the goal is not to hit 0. And that's kind of like the game's goal. Now, obviously, our goal is to hit 0. Anyway, we can basically make a ship free to upgrade, or, get better, hull damage, or hull strength, etc. We want to get, right? We want to find ways to get stronger, and it costs less. Basic, that's efficiency in our mind. Now, for those of you who haven't been in high school or college in a while and taking your algebra classes and remember all these formulas, well, this one we're going to discuss it now, because I realize some of y'all, it's been like 20, 30 years. So, just like it says on the screen, we're trying to find the cost of y. Now, C is your initial cost before you do any researches, exocomps, etc. And then you're going to divide that by base. If you remember base, it's because we've talked about that before in damage calculation, which we'll talk about again just briefly in a second. And then you're going to add that in with all your efficiency researches, etc., like those whole ones that we were just taking a look at. And then you're going to divide that by the cost, and that is going to give you y, your price. Now, when we break it down like that, it's honestly not that hard. Hence the highlight. The difficulty is you got to then take like a little sheet and what all actually applies here? Like, what are all the X's there? What are all the variables that give us the research we're looking for? Now, real quick, I did want to mention the damage, because that is a little bit different. This does not include the isolytic part of the formula, which I did a whole video on that, but calculating damage is actually working in a multiplicative way versus a division way, hence efficiency versus improving your overall damage. It's also a great example, and I like to use this one because this is why we love to have hull breach, because it's so powerful. Now, it adds damage to the game, and, well, adds damage to your ship's weapons, building off those original numbers. So what efficiency does, though, where this is building off the original numbers and adding to, this is taking the original numbers and essentially subtracting from. But there is a diminishing return. 100% does not give you the same amount once you add another 100%. Go back to the hamburger picture I provided. I know it was for jokes, and he actually did provide a better one, but for seriousness, that is kind of like the idea of what you're looking at here. As you continue to add 100%, it is less and less effective further down you go. Hence why Scopely keeps adding bigger and bigger numbers. If you look at the hulls primes that have been added recently, well, look at them. So if you look at like Prime Citadel, look at the numbers on that. Look at Prime Hulls in the very top right, though. That's like one of the OG ones, one of the original ones. Well, it's 100%. Well, now you have multi-tier primes like right here at Prime Structure, which are 400%, and there's 2 levels of them. So to make up for the fact that 100% or, your hamburgers that you're spending are going as far, they're pumping up the numbers to get a further reduction. And eventually you still are never going to get to 0 unless they give you like millions and millions of percentages. But that's the basic idea of how efficiency works, is we're taking all at once our hamburgers, spending our money, and trying to find ways to make things as cheap as possible, hence the efficiency breakdown. Let me actually show you a visual of this in action. I think that's probably a good way to do that. So let's go back to my pylum. My pylum, I've got 3 parts left to buy. And I have ship parts being my biggest one that's like constantly, but I also need other things, right? Like I'm also going to need uncommons and ores and all the other fun things that we need. So now we're going to go take a visit with my friend JB over at Spocks.club. Now, on the left side right here, this is where my pylum currently sits. As you can see, don't have the cargo, don't have the disruptor cannon, don't have the torpedo. And on the right side, way over there, is what it would cost if I were to upgrade all those. So right now you see I need 67,000 more uncommon interceptor parts. I need 46,000 more uncommon crystal. You see I need 3,000 more rare gas, and finally 11,000 more rare crystal. That's it to max it out. Now, you're wondering why I bring this up, because Spocks.club is great because it actually includes all of our researches and stuff to show you a visual example of efficiency in action. Here's the total cost for me to finish it out. So 6, 7, 46, 3, 3, 11. Let's say we were to add prime efficient ship engineering, which you can buy that at my level, $100 to give me the first 5. So now I can actually come up here and say, oh, well, that actually got rid of all the rare gas I needed. I actually have enough now. And now I need more crystal or less crystal and a little bit less of the rares and uncommons. You can see how that immediately applied and gave me more, even though I want to make sure I get rid of that because I don't have that one as much as I want it. You can see now it goes back to 46, 3, and 11. Whereas, again, if I spend $100, it's going to turn into 18, 0, and 4. Now, this is going to vary based on what you're trying to actually upgrade. And as you saw, that particular efficiency research doesn't affect the ship parts, which is the biggest issue. And I've said before that in terms of like which one of these that I'm buying, it's this one. Like if I took this to another level, that would be a bigger deal. So again, this comes back to the whole idea of how efficiency works and what efficiency actually means, because in our brains and in all of the conversations, people think efficiency, they see 100%. Okay, why does that not turn to 0? Because it continues to go down the chart. After you've done 100% efficiency, you have a new number, and now you're doing 100% of that, and then you're doing 100% of that. So as you continue to add down the line, that's where these formulas come into play, and why it's amazing to have tools like we have in Spocks.club. That's why I actually love tools like this. Also, don't let me forget, I'm going to do it now, set this back, because I don't actually have that. And for those that don't know what this tool is, this is a free-to-use tool on the website. You can plug in manually, or if you look at the video called Sync, I actually showed how you can use it on your PC to actually pull all that data for you by yourself. So you don't actually have to input all of it manually. And I can even say, hey, what would it cost to max this bad boy out? Well, that's painful to look at, so I probably shouldn't have done that. But yeah, this is why efficiency is such a big topic, because people won't understand how to actually make it cheaper. Because as you saw, those prices to upgrade, just for me at level 49, that doesn't even count the fact that there's 6-star now, get really, really up there. And it also comes down to, if you're a spender, you want to know the best way to spend your hamburgers, right? How efficient can we be with our hamburgers? So I think the knowledge in this video hopefully helps you understand how exactly things work. So the basic thing I can tell you is the less things that have efficiency options, like for sale and research, the better they actually are. Because there is that kind of, like, as we talk about, diminishing kind of a return. Because remember, we've also got our armory building, which, oh, that gives me a whole health bonus. So that is literally basically a level 43. That is almost triple what that original prime was at 100%. And they all are together, right? So they all work in the same. There's not like a special math for prime hull. Oh God, probably shouldn't mention that, give Scopely ideas. There's not a special math for prime hull versus regular hull bonuses. So you need to find things that maybe don't have a lot of things if you're wanting to spend your, your dollars, your euros, your et cetera, as efficiently as possible. An example is prime Borg efficiency. Like this one, there isn't really many things that affect this. This actually has a tangible value that that you can see and act on, and a lot of people go after it. Whereas the G4 parts one, this has become really outdated very quickly because of the primes that I mentioned in the station tree. Talked about if I had to spend another $100, well, it'd be this one, because this one gives me another 100% versus what that one was giving me, and it costs the same amount of money. So end of the day, it just comes down to remember how efficiency works, and that it's actually based on an efficiency formula in the table that you're actually working on. I hope this video answered some of your questions and helped. If it did, like the video, looks like a thumb, hit it, subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, more than happy to help you in our little game of Star Trek Fleet Command, which is basically just a massive math simulator. Live long and plunder. Stay safe for the Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next one, and we're out.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.